don't need a return ticket where you're going. This is a one-way journey. Straight down!
Welcome to GamesMaster, Europe's premier light entertainment song and dance extravaganza with added flames. Tonight, some reviews, tips, challenges and top drawer celebrity guests attempt to bring some goodness and light into these infernal surroundings. So let's suck this smarty with fun stamped on it and launch ourselves up to GamesMaster.
Our first challenge tonight is one I've rather been looking forward to. Our contestant will be playing the new 3DO version of the classic Mega Drive game Road Rash. The objective is simple: to finish first in the Pacific Coast Highway Race. The power of the 3DO system will mean that our rider will probably find his path littered with rather more obstacles than he's used to.
Here for some open road action, we have Mehmet Osman. If you could be any famous person at all in another life, who would it be?
Probably Ryan Giggs.
Ryan Giggs. Why Ryan?
The greatest footballer.
And great hair. The only thing is that it means you'd have to probably go out with Danny Bear as well.
I can't complain with that.
No? It's all right, as long as you're not looking for stimulating conversation, I suppose. Right, while Mehmet gets ready in the saddle, we'll take a look at this week's news. First up, Mortal Kombat 2 has smashed all sales records, shifting 250,000 copies in just one day, Mortal Friday. That represents 1/4 of all video games sold that whole month. Worldwide sales are now over 2.5 million and climbing. Not higher than Mr. Acclaim's Wallet, however. Just opened at London's Trocadero a new kind of arcade experience, the Imaginator. You'll be strapped into a moving seat to experience some virtual rides. And if this ride reminds you of GamesMaster's opening titles, that's because it was created on a Silicon graphics machine by the same people, the Belgian company Trix, the only good thing to come out of Belgium ever. Finally, we're pleased to announce the arrival of the GamesMaster Network, especially helpful for people who have no friends. All you need is a PC, a modem, and a phone. Give your modem these commands. Make that coin and phone connection and dial this number. Then you'll be through to the TV net. You can sell or swap games with other GamesMaster viewers, find out the latest cheats and tips, or just chat with other friends.
I'll be on it for hours.
Well, in that case, perhaps you'd be better off dialing in from home. But do get permission from whatever unfortunate individual pays your phone bill.
Right, and we're about to play Road Rash on the 3DO, our first ever 3DO challenge on GamesMaster. That's pretty interesting, isn't it, Simon?
Not really.
No, oh man. Right, any tips for Mehmet on this?
Yeah, I think there are two ways of approaching Road Rash. You can either race straight through, avoiding everybody, or if he gets pestered by the police, as he's likely to, you could punch them.
Punch the police? Not something, of course, we'd recommend, unless you live in Streatham, of course. Right, okay, Mehmet, best of luck. You have to finish first on the Pacific Coast Highway stretch. Off you go. So off goes Mehmet for the viewers at home. In the middle, bottom middle of the screen, you can see the number 13 there. That's the position that he is in. He's got to end up first place. To the left is Sinclair 1. To the right is the biker nearest him. He's just past Perley, just going up to Driller, who's wearing pink, Simon.
Yeah, a few missed punches there. Let's hope he doesn't fire like that in real life.
Okay, but you are saying that you do have a choice. You can punch them if you like, but maybe sometimes it's better just to go straight through and aim to win the race.
Yeah, it looks like he's adopting a more violent approach, though.
Okay, and he's not doing... Oh, he's doing all right. He's in 10th place, so he's going to have to watch it. Some traffic a bit ahead. People falling off all over the shop now, Simon, but he's up to 8th. Not bad so far.
Yeah, he's doing well. If he can just maintain his position, then he should be okay.
Oh, no, but he's going to have to watch. That was the kiss of death from Simon. Oh, he eats dirt there at the side of the road. He's going to lose some places here, Simon. It was not a major contribution to road safety, that. OK, so he's back in 10th place now. On, they're overtaking him because he's going slow. He's down to 12th, Simon. What can he do to catch up? What would you recommend?
Well, I think he should just concentrate on getting to the end first. Forget about punching them because it doesn't really do him any favours in the long run.
And not even if they're called Spud or Slim like these two are. A little bit of a smile there from Mehmet, nice to see. And he's up to 8th position, up to 7th position now. He could still do it, Simon. He's been going for 2.2, 2.3 miles. That's not too bad.
Yeah, I don't really fancy his chances, to be honest with you. I think he's got a long way to go, still in 6th. He's got a lot of work to do, to be honest with you.
OK, he's in 6th, but there's a big clutch of riders up ahead of him. He's not too far away from the end of the race, though. He could really do it. This is important. There's the cops. Is he going to punch him? He's not punching the cops.
That's a wise move, I think.
Obviously not a straight boy. He's up to 5th place. 4th place now. Sydney. He's just past Sydney. He's got a bit of C there for some bizarre reason. In 4th place. Past the Cotmore. He's up to 2nd now, Simon.
Yeah, now he missed the pedestrian.
He's just going to take this guy. He's in 1st place. Just round the squad. He's going to win it. I think he's going to do it, Simon. Yeah. He's coming right. There's the checker flag. He crosses the checker line in 1st place. That's it.
Mehmet wins the challenge.
Well done, Mehmet. Now, Mehmet, a bit of a shaky start there, I have to admit, but you came through in the end. What were some of the difficult bits in it?
Early on, bends too sharp.
And I saw at one point you managed to miss actually all the cars, but you actually smacked into a tree. Was it a bit sore? Bit of nasty chafing? Yeah. Probably. OK, well, you'll be able to live with your chafing though now, Mehmet, because you can console and soothe yourself with the GamesMaster Golden Joystick. Another round of applause for Mehmet. As another gaming bud bursts into bloom, let's tiptoe through the tulips in today's reviews. First up, it's strange that EA should choose to represent the 7.5-foot Shaquille O'Neal with a 2-inch sprite. But let's not split hairs. What's Shaq Fu really like?
The characters are very fluid, and they look like real fighters, and the moves they use look more realistic than any game I've seen. There is a payoff in that the characters are slightly unresponsive and slow, and also they're so small.
Games like Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat that feature big sprites are possibly a bit more playable because it's actually easier to see what's going on, and you can be more accurate with the blows you strike.
Basically, you've got to have the gameplay there. It's no good having a game that just looks great. It's got to play great as well. I'd bet slam dunk this one in the bin if I were you.
Next up, shock horror, big name license in box standard platform game. Hooray! Michael Jordan, Chaos in Windy City.
As a platform game, it's got the novelty of not having to jump on people's heads, but instead you use your basketball to get rid of the baddies. The baddies themselves are quite strange, as giant spiders and other seemingly weird people with basketballs for heads.
Michael Jordan's looks very good. All the sprites move lovely and the movement's great. You have to find keys to open doors and you have to push switches to operate lifts. Very bog standard platform game, I'm afraid.
It seems to be a trend at the moment involving basketball players in sort of unrelated games. Platform fans would be better off looking somewhere else. Basketball fans would be better off with something like NBA Jam.
Finally, travel through space, meet interesting new people, and kill them in the name of progress in Inferno.
Inferno is the most incredibly fast, incredibly detailed, and incredibly smooth PC shoot-'em-up so far. And it very much is a shoot-'em-up. It has simulation overtones, but there's so much blasting to do and so many sort of alien baddies to kill that no one's going to get bored except perhaps flight simulation enthusiasts.
With over 700 missions, well, stages actually, that you can access during the evolutionary period of the game. This is very in-depth and will take up a lot of your time. If you're into these sort of games, then this is obviously for you. Go out and buy it now.
While our celebrities are haggling over their enormous appearance fees, let's go over to GamesMaster and find out what their challenge is.
I've selected something just a little different for our second challenge tonight. The 3-player beat-em-up Dragon on the Super Nintendo. As with all beat-em-ups, each player has their own health bar at the top of the screen, which decreases as they are hit. The contest will be over a single bout, and the player left standing will be the winner. Let's enter the dragon.
Playing Dragon today, we have a cornucopia of Antipodean soap legends. Please welcome Bruce Roberts, Sarah Vandenbergh and Dan Falzon. Let's start with you, Bruce. I'm always interested in getting gossip on the Australian soaps. Who was the most unpopular person in the home and away cast?
A guy who came in to play the veterinary surgeon once and told Ben and Carly that their chickens had chicken cholera. I'd say he was the most unpopular.
I never liked Matt Stevenson, because I'll say one thing about you, Bruce. You had very good hair for home and away.
I have very good hair.
Yeah, most other people in home and away had really bad hair, like Matt Stevenson, a really lank kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I never liked him. Yeah. You know? Oh, they're all chipping in now. They're all dissing your show. Let's go into you now, Sarah. Over here, with all due respect to Bruce, Neighbours is seen as slightly superior to home and away. Why is that, do you think? Bruce is nodding in agreement there, actually.
You're never doing that. I think it's because it was the first one to come out, and we had Kylie and Jason. Yep. I think that's the reason.
And Helen Daniels.
Oh, of course.
With an amazing heart attack, which made her mouth turn go like that, and that was all it did. Anyway, on to you, Dan. Dan, you're a bit of a Jack the Lad in Neighbours. Is there any girl in the set whose tonsils you haven't tickled yet, but would like to?
I'm still getting there, but I've still got Sarah to go.
We never got there. No.
We're just family in the show, aren't we?
Yeah.
We're fine.
Okay, well, while we see how this menage a trois develops, we'll go to a commercial break. Welcome back. We have Bruce Roberts, Sarah Vandenbergh and Dan Falzon as our special guests. They're getting ready to play Dragon, getting ready to help me out. It's Steve Merritt from Mean Machines. Welcome, Steve.
Hi, Dom.
Steve, now we were talking about hair earlier on. Who's got your favourite haircut in Neighbours?
Bouncer always did it for me.
Bouncer better than Jim Robinson's?
But not quite up to Madge, perhaps.
And this is a three-player beat-em-up, Steve. Any tips you can throw out?
Well, I hate to say it, but Sarah's actually in a bit of a bad predicament because all Dan and Bruce have to do is jump in and kick her down. And if they were to work against her, then they can sort each other out afterwards.
Okay, so Sarah could be in big trouble if the boys gang up on her. And let's see what happens then as Dan, Sarah and Bruce begin your challenge now. Okay, so Bruce is on the left in the grey trunks, Sarah's on the blue shorts, and Dan is in the red shorts.
There's a lot of acrobatics going on at the moment, and that was a particularly nice double kick.
Nice double kick by Dan, that was in fact in the red shorts. And
Sarah's actually really quiet at the moment. You'll also notice that the blue bar underneath the red bar indicates that they can, when it's full, pick up a power weapon, such as nunchuckers, for instance.
Okay, at the moment, Sarah's actually doing better.
She's doing very, very really good. She's certainly holding her own.
And they haven't ganged up on her yet, though?
No, they really should get in for a bit of 2-on-1, I reckon, because they're not good to hit anyone else.
From Bruce in the grey.
It's like a village people convention at the moment.
It certainly is. And it's getting all a bit scrappy, though. There's no thinking here.
It's like a playground fight. This is not worthy of Bruce Lee.
And it's not a terribly intelligent fight they're fighting.
Sarah's actually going to go down, I think. I think she's going to stay down.
Yeah, Sarah doesn't have much energy left. She's got back up for one final fling.
Oh, dear.
Pretty low, but Bruce is in the lead just now. It's home and away beating Neighbours.
A really good way to finish it off is when your opponent's lying down, you can jump on their neck. It really saps their energy.
Sarah's going to have to watch it. Her bar's in the middle.
The best thing she can do is stay out now.
One more kick and Sarah's out of it. Sarah is gone and she's out.
Oh,
so
dear.
Bruce in the red against Bruce in the grey against Dan in the red, and he's finished it. Bruce has finished it. Home and away beats Neighbours. Bad luck, Dan. Bad luck, Sarah. Well done, Bruce. Thanks, Tom. Now, Dan, we'll start with you. You nearly did it. It was very close in the end there between you and Bruce. What happened then?
Oh, we're just going to team up a bit better sometimes. That's about it.
I must admit, the teamwork was a bit lacking. And as for you, Sarah, you started off brilliantly, then you went all Helen Daniels after a while. What went wrong?
I think these guys sort of like malfunctioned my control.
Yeah, sort of that.
They cheated.
Yeah, well, you've got one person that agrees with you. We've obviously managed to let another Australian slip through the security. Bruce, you had no problems at all, though, there. Does this mean that home and away is actually a far sterner stuff than Neighbours?
Well, just around the surf club during breaks in the filming, we used to get down on the old Matt Mania.
More time. We're too busy working,
Yeah, we're too busy.
Well, now hopefully Bruce will have some more time on his hands to gaze lovingly at the GamesMaster Golden Joystick. And a round of applause again for Bruce, Dan and Sarah. As the Beatles once sang, you get by with little help from your friends. For those of you with no friends, here's the consultation zone.
Welcome, one and all, to my consultation zone, where once again my joystick expertise will lift weary souls to another level. Who's first to arrive?
GamesMaster, I really like Pete Sampras' tennis on the Mega Drive, but is there anything secret in it?
How about 2 secret games hidden inside? First, on the main menu, select World Tour. Now choose any player, but don't enter your name. Select yes to entering a password and enter separately. This isn't just a lot of hot air, but the way you gain access to the secret options on the main menu. Huge Tour is a massive tournament in which up to 8 people can play. Select Crazy Tennis, and you'll find yourself playing with some very strange characters and the biggest racket on the circuit.
That's cool.
Time for new balls, please.
GamesMaster, I'm a bit worried because I keep kicking the ball out of the pitch on FIFA Soccer and the Mega CD. You must be able to help me.
Well, try this. Go to the options screen and enter this code, CC, CB, AA, AB. Now, when you play the game, you will find there's an invisible wall surrounding the pitch. You can bounce your balls off it as much as you like. Satisfied?
Thanks, GamesMaster. That's wicked.
Next.
I have a problem with Mighty Max on the Game Boy. On the second room of the Hannick world, I keep getting stuck. What do I do?
This one's easy. First of all, you must push the trampoline until it's on the top of the last box but one. Jump up, walk across, and swap your bag for the duck. You'll need the duck later. Walk back and wait at the 3rd brick from the right. Lo and behold, the lively fellow will magically float up and take you to the door you've been wanting to reach. Easy when you know how, don't you think?
Nice one, GamesMaster. Thanks.
That's enough wisdom for one session. I'll be back soon. See you anon.
Now, before we set sail to End of Show Island, it's time for a final trip to GamesMaster.
My final challenge for today is the truly primitive arcade game, Primal Rage. The 2 characters I've selected, Diablo and Blizzard, are not likely to make it beyond the Ice Age, but they've got plenty of stamina when it comes to a good old beat-em-up. As always, players have 3 rounds to secure their opponent's extinction.
Our final pair of challengers then are Paul Russell and Edo Zucker. Any types of games that you don't like?
Beat-em-ups, especially this one.
Yeah, well, why don't you like beat-em-ups?
I just can't do them.
You know that it's thick people who like beat-em-ups?
No, I don't think so.
No, it's scientifically true. Some bloke told me in a pub. So what are you going to do about this one then, tonight?
Just doing my best.
Yeah? Listen, that's all you can do, Paul. Let's move on to Edo. What do you like doing when you're not playing video games?
I know, listening to music, hanging out, things like that.
Hanging out of moving vehicles or?
No, going to discos, things like that.
What sort of music are you into?
Rap.
Rap. Well, I'd like everybody now to rap along to this little vignette that we've had made on the making of Primal Rage.
This just might be the battle of your life. Are you ready for Primal Rage?
Yes, Primal Rage, the biggest arcade beat-em-up of the year, has arrived from the States, where it's been pooing on the opposition with some of the smartest graphics ever seen anywhere. But how did they get them looking so gorgeous?
Stop-motion animation, a technique used in the production of major motion picture special effects.
Okay, number 17.
Righto.
That is just one out of hundreds of individual pictures that make a fight sequence. The combination of these tiny precision movements will eventually make Talon jump, kick, and punch.
Starting on a wee piece of paper, the artist designed all these wacky dinosaurs. But who did they get to bring them to life? Spielberg? Lucas? No, Dan Platt. You know, Dan.
Dan Platt has made a career of making movie monsters. Dan turns detailed illustrations into skillfully sculptured works of art.
He also pulls lots of birds. Once the sculpting is finished, after much fun with plasticine, a posable skeleton is inserted and the finished model is painted. The animated moves are recorded and the completed footage is sampled by a computer to add the finishing touches.
Now Talon is ready to fight.
Primal Rage will be in arcades nationwide very soon and on console next year.
Okay, so let's get Primal Rage.
With me again is Dave Perry. Dave, I've been thinking, looking at you with a bandana, you look a bit like one of those Japanese kamikaze pilots. Dave, those special moves in brief, please.
Okay, well, we've got a T-Rex here called Diablo, who's got a nifty range of fireball moves. He can also teleport himself to the other side of the screen. Whilst we've also got the giant ape Blizzard, who's from the frozen wastes, and he can freeze his opponent. He can also take them by the neck and punch them up the chin.
Okay, nice guy. Okay, best of luck to Edo and Paul. Let the fight begin. Okay, we have got Edo playing Blizzard, who's the sort of white monkey-looking fellow on the left, and we've got Paul playing Diablo, who's the kind of
Already Blizzard goes into his special moves, throws Diablo. He went in, grabbed him by the throat, spun his fist around and sent him spiraling into the air.
Now we can see two energy bars up at the top, Dave. What's the difference between those?
There's two energy bars. One with the beating heart, that's obviously his life force. That's how much life is left in him in this battle. The other one with the brain, that's how much intelligence the fighter's got left. If he takes too many strong blows to the head, his intelligence will go down and he'll slow up. He'll be able to do less moves.
So it's like the game brain.
Like the game brain, yes,
Right.
this is game brain.
Okay, at the moment both the energies are quite low, but Diablo's looking the worst for wear, Dave.
He's frozen by Blizzard. He punched him outside the throat. Diablo's coming back with some stabbing bites at Blizzard.
Yes, but his energy's both Blizzard's energy's right down now again.
Both their brain
I
pushed
think
over.
this is
Diablo's had it.
Diablo. Falls to the ground. Blizzard takes the first one, 1-0 to Edo. Off we go for about two. About Diablo must win. Oh, he's in there again with the freeze move again.
A bit early on as a vengeance bat. Once you lose, the second bat's always called a vengeance bat because you have to go for it. You have to get revenge.
Okay, Diablo's got to get right in there at the neck.
Diablo's not really getting in there on Blizzard. I think he's a little bit wary now, having lost the first bat. Blizzard's
tossing him about there.
He's going in the other side.
again,
He's
it's
going to use a special move. There he goes, right up in the air, and he's down. And Diablo's energy bar at the top is very, very
what's
low.
Diablo got to do, Dave? What would you recommend?
Well, what Diablo's got is he's got these fireballs, but he's not using them. He should be keeping his distance from Blizzard.
Oh, it's going to be
because every time he goes in, that's what happens to him. He gets punched up into the air. He's got to use his fireballs.
So low, this could be it for Paul.
He's got to hit Blizzard.
Edo, well, I think this is going to be it.
Blizzard will kick him. Diablo gets up, go down again.
He wishes out, which means that by 2-0, Edo is the winner. Well played, Edo. Nice one. Okay, now, Paul, if your performance was a bag of crisps, what flavour would it be?
Probably plain, because I couldn't get my special moves pulled off.
Very good answer. I was going to say empty bag. Edo, if your performance was a bag of crisps, which flavour would that be?
Hot curry flavour because it's hot like my performance and a sharp taste.
Very good, but I think Paul's is actually slightly funnier. But unfortunately, Paul, that's the only reward you'll get because the golden joystick goes to Edo. Round of applause for Edo and Paul. That's it for another show. I'm off to tell kids at boarding school that their parents hate them. See you next time. Bye-bye.